Hey Achievers, what's going on? It's 2012, can you believe it? I'm back here in my hometown in Darwin, and I wanted to do something special today because it's kind of a special day for me. It's my birthday, but instead of me getting all the presents, you know me, I'm always giving out there. So what I wanted to do on my birthday is actually give you the 5 keys to life. These are my 5 keys to life, and it's the philosophies and the principles of success that I've developed over the last few years that help me achieve time and time again, you know, and navigate through the struggles that life offers you and the challenges and negativity and all of that. And I hope that wherever you are in the world today, and if you are struggling, that these 5 keys to life will help you achieve great things and help you achieve success in your life. So what we're going to do today is go for a bit of a drive around my hometown. Excuse the heat, it's really hot. So I thought I'd take you to a couple of places that inspire and motivate me and give you my 5 keys at each of these places. So let's get to it. Peace. Hey Achievers, welcome back to 5 keys to life success. So here we are in the car and driving along towards Casuarina Beach. It's a beautiful day, it's very hot. Thank God we're inside here with the aircon. And this is key number 1. So the first key I want you guys to remember is this thing called personal policy. And what that means is that whenever you join an organization or a company or anything like that, they've got these things called documents of policy or policies and procedures or whatever, and it's a set of rules and regulations within the company that dictates how every single employee in that company works and the things that they can and can't do. And I've got to just quickly show you this view. It's a beautiful bluey green aqua sea. Sorry for the distraction, but anyway, so personal policy. Alright, so personal policy, what that means is you got to live your life according to a set of rules and regulations that you dictate. And personal policy means that, you know, you do not violate these rules of yours. And I find that the people that I talk to, and even in my own life, when I wanted to achieve such great things, I just had to follow my own set of rules and regulations and just make sure that no one sort of puts their own rules and regulations at me, because it's so annoying and it's so easy to do. And the biggest example I'll give you is that other people's agendas, they'll come up to you and, you know, ask you to do stuff, or, you know, whether at work or at school or stuff like that. It's very easy to sort of, you know, bend the rules a little bit, but you got to stick by it. You know, you got to stick by it because they're your rules for a reason. And one of the rules that I've got in my life is that I hate negativity and I refuse to deal with negative people. And it's just so annoying because they frustrate me greatly. You know, they don't achieve anything, and they try to bring me, you know, they try to suck me into their negativity or try and bring me down. So it's my personal policy of you know, not dealing with negative people. So how I discovered all this personal policy stuff was, it's an interesting story. So Natty Peak, who's the designer of Dream Build Inspire Lead and a really good friend of mine, we sat down at lunch one day and he was telling me the story. He got all excited and stuff like that, and he got real, you know, a bit agitated and things like that, and he got real worked up about telling me the story about how he could not get an internet connection where he lives. And when he used to live up here in Darwin, he used to live in the suburbs and, you know, a really cool new apartment and stuff like that, and he just could not for the life of him get internet connection. And they ran him around and gave him so many excuses and all that, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, he just said, oh geez, you know, just get me some internet, and he got his internet. And it was just such a crazy story that he was telling me. And I said, Natty, you know, how come you're not worked up about this, you know? I mean, how come you're not angry with these people for not giving you internet? And he looked at me and goes, AJ, I just don't have time to get angry, you know? And I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. I mean, if you were to develop a personal policy where you just don't have time to get angry, what cool stuff could you achieve, you know? And I thought that's pretty interesting. So personal policy, try that one on, and that's my key number 1 to having an amazing life and a very successful life. So I'll see you shortly for the next key. Hey Achievers, so here we are again for another 5 keys to life. And I'm just driving through Cullen Bay now, and if I've edited this video correctly, you'll be able to see what this place is like. So here's a bit of a view of Cullen Bay, and I'll pull over somewhere and then I'll run through the 5th key or whatever keys I've got for you. Alright, see you soon. Well Achievers, here we are in Cullen Bay, and Cullen Bay is a place where I love to come often, and it's a pretty wealthy neighborhood, and basically whenever I'm here it reminds me about you know, the accessibility to wealth and things like that this bay has on offer, and when I'm sort of focused on all my issues and challenges, it helps to remind me that, you know, someday I want to live in a place like this. And I've probably shown you a little bit of the drive-in so you get an idea of the houses, but check out this view. Like, how awesome is this view right here, you know? And we've got storm clouds coming in and stuff like that, so it's a pretty cool place. So that brings me to key number 2, which is one of my favorites. It's don't teach a pig to sing. And what that means is sometimes you'll encounter people in life that just don't get your way of thinking. They just don't want to get it. They're very set in their ways. And because we love to be understood, it's one of our natures of being a human, you know, our virtues of being human. We want to convince people to come around to our way of thinking, or influence, or, you know, stuff like that. But just sometimes you're gonna find people that just will not, they're too set in their ways, and they will never ever think outside of those ways. And by trying to convince them otherwise, you're gonna be burning time, energy, possibly even money, and just waste your time. So that brings us to that philosophy of don't teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and annoys the hell out of the pig. So keep that in mind. Whenever you find that you find someone who's not really coming around to your point of view, just leave them be, you know, just leave them be, because for every single person that you encounter like that, there'll be hundreds, maybe thousands of others who will want to come around to your view. They're dying to come around to your place of thinking, you know, your way of thinking, your ideas, your motivation, your inspiration, you know. And it's not bad, sort of, you know, some people say to me, but, you know, you should always give everyone a fair chance, and yes, you should. But there's only a certain amount of time that we got on this earth, you know, on this planet, and you know, why would you want to waste it trying to teach a pig to sing? You know, there's so much more you could be offering people. So that's number 2, don't teach a pig to sing. I'm AJ Kalatanga, and I'll see you shortly for key number 3. Hey Achievers, welcome back. This is 5 Keys to Life, and we're driving here at East Point Reserve. I wanted to take you guys to my spot and show you exactly what it's like to chill out at my spot. And I come to East Point a lot because well, there's a story behind that, but anyway, so I've come here along, and everyone's here today. They're even mowing the lawns, and there's people, there's tourists, there's everything. So I'm going to try another spot up here, and so we're driving through a bit of a jungle here, the reserve. So yeah, so bear with me, and I'll try and get us to a safe location and deliver you the 3rd key. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Alright Achievers, I found a relatively quiet spot, and behind me you can see this is Darwin City. So a bit of clouds again, and just the city over there. So and you can see this big hunk of concrete right here, right? And ages ago I wanted to do this TV commercial, or audition for a TV show, and so I had some friends and I came here to this block of whatever, and we shot this entire crazy video of me back in the day, and it brings back memories. So I'm really glad to have you here, part of my hometown. So key number 3, and this is a bit of a weird one, but bear with me here because I've got a point with it. And number 3 is actually be the biggest guy in the gym. Now what I mean by that is that for those of you who go to a gym, you know, you'll know that there's 2 types of guys in there. You know, there may be more, but let's just say for the purpose of this video, there's only 2 types of guys in there. There's the big guys and the little guys, right? And the little guys, you see them like, they've got little muscles and they're trying to sort of show off and things like that. And then they roll up their little sleeves and they've got these little muscles, and they're pumping and huffing and puffing and whatnot. And you know, they try to build up something, you know. They're the guys that yell, 98, 99, you know, that sort of stuff. And it's pretty funny to watch them, all right? And then, and you know, how do I know? Because I'm one of those little guys, right? But then all of a sudden the door will open, and in will walk a big guy. And the funny thing about this guy, right, that walks in, the big guy, is that he's all covered up. You know, he's not wearing the tiny little muscle tops or anything like that. He's got sweatpants on, and he's got a proper shirt on, and, you know, maybe even long sleeve trainers and all that. But you take one look at this guy and you know that he's big and he can lift real heavy. So I use that story as a bit of a metaphor for our lives as achievers, you know. See, right now, we're all the little guys in the gym. You know, we're the ones sort of rolling up our sleeves and flexing our tiny muscles, or in our case, you know, the qualifications that we've got, or the experience that we've got, and the projects that we worked on, and name drop, you know, and in the hope that we're building up something special, we're building up our careers. you know, but one day a time will come when we've built up enough that we don't no longer have to, you know, reveal all our project histories and, you know, where we're working, who we've, you know, worked for and things like that. We won't have to do that. We'll walk into a room and everyone will know who we are and what we do, and we will finally be the biggest guy in the gym, you know. And that's a beautiful metaphor, I think, because if you can strive towards that and work hard towards that, you know, beautiful things will happen. And so the next time you're at a gym, try and find out if you're one of the little guys or one of the big guys. Now, for the girls who are watching this video, or the ladies watching this video, the equivalent of that for you is the most beautiful girl in the room. And I'm not talking about beauty in terms of, you know, natural beauty or anything like that. I'm talking about that you can find sort of people who are just beautiful, you know, and you all know it. Like, you girls know it. You girls are really switched on like that. You'll know when a beautiful girl walks into the room, every other girl looks at her, you know, and they're secretly jealous or whatever you girls talk about. I don't know. But the equivalent for you girls is be the most beautiful girl in the room. And I'm not talking about, you know, physical beauty. I'm talking about just attractiveness, you know, and that is often not just physical. It could be mental, it could be spiritual, it could be just amazing energy. So be the most beautiful girl in the room or the biggest guy in the gym. So that's the key number 3. And I've got to go. I've got a few more videos to shoot for you guys. So I'm AJ Kalasanga, and I'll see you in the next key video. Hey Achievers, welcome back. Alright, so we're going to key number 4, the location, and I just want to show you something cool. I don't know if you guys can see it yet, but see this big massive building that we're driving towards? It looks like a big turret, and actually it is. It's a gun turret from World War II. So I'm going to see if we can get you inside, so bear with me here, alright? I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're actually inside a gun turret from World War II. Darwin was bombed during the the Second World War. History wasn't my best subject, and you can sort of see the storage bunkers in here, and this is where the massive turret sat. So the gun would be pointed up towards the sky, as you can sort of see the remainder, and this is where the turret was and pointed, and it would be Darwin's first line of defenses. So we're just going to go upstairs and check it out. I'm going to show you the view from upstairs, and yes, this is a real gun turret from World War II. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so you can sort of see a bit of the better view of the gun turret from here now, and this is the view from up here in the turret. And it's pretty spectacular, isn't it? Now, hopefully the sun's at the right angle here and you guys can still see me, but welcome to key number 4. And this one's a bit of an interesting one, and this is actually my challenge for this year. It's going to be a difficult one, but it's going to be a good one. So this year's challenge, and key number 4, is the notion of being accessible to the right people and the right things. And what I mean by that is, essentially, you've got in life, people just have so many different agendas for you. People want to do stuff, force things on you. And I'll give you the best example of that I can give you is email. You know, email is from external sources to you. You know, it's a communication from external sources to you. And often, if you don't manage your email properly, it's just really becomes someone else's agenda for you. You know, and my mum's a great example of this, because she answers every single email as soon as it comes through. Even if it's not really important, she'll answer it. You know, when the phone rings, she'll answer it. You know, she doesn't allocate time to do those things. And what that means is that other people are running her day for her. You know, and that's the same, and I found myself like that a lot too, and then I just thought, nah, had enough of this. And the crunch time for me was when I was presented with an opportunity to go hang out with some friends, and, you know, in a beautiful environment, Vegas it was, and I had to choose my work over my friends. And that was my pivotal moment, and I thought, never again am I going to be accessible to the wrong people and the wrong things. Now, going back to that saying, what I want to teach you guys now is basically just the whole notion of what happens when you're busy. When you're busy, you don't have time, you don't have extra time, and most people are busy for all the wrong reasons. You know, they're busy for work, or they're busy for sport or whatever, and then their family and their friends get neglected and things like that, and that should never be the case. So what I wanted to do, I actually stumbled upon a couple of consultants who were really interesting people, and I went to their event, and I noticed that they were so accessible to everyone in the audience, because we all paid money to get into this conference, you know, and we got into this conference and we all paid money, and they were so accessible, you know, and I thought to myself, wow, these guys are fantastic, you know, you can talk to them, you can stop them and ask them anything. But the funny thing is, by watching these guys, I noticed that while we had all paid money to get to the event and they were being accessible to us at that event, outside of that event, it was very hard to get at them unless you were a paid client. And now that might sound a little bit snobby to you guys, but at the end of the day, if you're the sort of person to help people, if you're the sort of person to, you know, even a consultant or to offer some sort of a service, you know, and you should be in a position to offer most of your time to those who value it. And in this case, we're talking monetary value, you know, and if you've got 10 clients lined up that are willing to pay you $1,000, you know, and you got one person who's just wants to pick your brain or whatever, you know, it's a question of how do you want to manage your time. And so I looked at these guys and I thought, wow, I want to be like these guys, because they're accessible to the right people and the right things. And what I mean by that is that they don't, you know, it's their personal policy to just sort of, you know, work out what's important to them, and offer the important things and the important people their time. And you reach a stage in life where you have this whole time versus money thing, and those people who are struggling with money, often they've got plenty of time, so they're willing to invest the time, but you know, money's more precious. But when you make enough money, it flips the script over, and it's like time is more precious than money. And because you have money, then you spend money to have more time, and it's a really weird flip. And unless you're in that wealth mindset or that wealthy world, you don't quite understand that. But you're an achiever and you're here watching this video, so I'm going to assume that you do, or that we're all working towards that wealthy mindset. So be accessible to the right people and the right things. And I find that if you don't have that philosophy, you don't master that philosophy, you're going to get pulled into what I call the vortex of hell. And what I mean by that is somewhere someone will be having a panic attack and they'll be in a vortex of hell. They'll be in a world of pain and lots of trouble and stuff like that. And what hell will happen is they will get in touch with you through email or the phone or text or whatever, and they will try to bring you down into their world, into their vortex of hell. But if you're not accessible to that, then you will never go into that hell with them, right? So it's a really weird concept, but you know, and it's not being snobby, you know, some people said, oh, you're just snobby, you know, but at the end of the day, it's because you're so busy changing the world. You're busy doing important things for important people, you know, doing things that matter. So it's up to you how you want to rank what's important and what's not, but have that philosophy of being accessible to the right people and the right things. And that's key number 4. I'm AJ Kalatanga, and I'll see you in the next video. Achievers, so here we are at Casuarina Beach. There's a view of the beach. You guys probably remember this spot from a few of my other videos. And we're here, we're going to actually the cliff face, Dripstone Cliffs. And it's a place where I used to come when I was a kid. My family lives, well, not in the bush, but a little bit over that way. And so I used to run down here as a kid and bring my guitar, and this is my exact spot right there where I used to sit down and play. So hopefully I'm just going to sit down here a bit close to the edge. Hopefully I won't fall down. It's not a steep drop. It's not that steep drop. But anyway, this brings us to key number 5, achievers, and that is the most important key ever. And what that is my motto: dream, build, inspire, lead. And these four words have really changed the way I look at life. You know, it really had such an impact on me, going through all the tough times in my life and for the tough times to come, you know. And at some point in time in my career, I just sat down and I started to dream, you know. I started to dream great dreams, you know. And after I dreamt them, I built amazing things. I inspired those around me, and I led through motivation. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. First one is dream. Dream great dreams, and don't let anyone take your dreams away from you. Because when you're down and you're out, You know, your dreams will take you through the hard times. Your passion for your dreams will take you through the hard times. If you find that your dreams don't get you up in the morning, you're not dreaming great dreams at all. You're dreaming, and sometimes you might even dream someone else's dreams. For those of you who are still at school, your parents might actually want to impose their dreams on you. You know, son, be a doctor, daughter, be a lawyer, you know, whatever. But you have to dream your own dreams. It might not sound easy right now, but trust me, as you go out through life, you got to dream great dreams. Second thing is you have to build amazing things. You know, I can't imagine what the world would be like if dreamers didn't build some amazing things. And I can't imagine a world without dreamers who haven't built anything. You know, there's towns filled of people, full of people who they had the dreams, but they never did anything about it. They never built anything amazing. And they're great people, don't get me wrong, you know, don't get me wrong, they're great people, but they could have been so much more and they could have contributed so much more. And that's what building amazing things is all about. All of you guys now have a mobile phone with a camera in it. And mobile phone cameras weren't around probably 10, 15 years ago, you know. You had a camera and you had a mobile phone separately, if that. And then an engineer by the name of Philippe Kahn integrated the two because he wanted to take photos of his newborn baby as soon as it was born and send it out to the rest of the world. But the technology did not exist at the time for him to do that. So he, while his wife was giving birth to their first child, he sat in the waiting room and he hardwired his phone to his laptop and the camera, you know, and he sent his assistant out to Radio Shack to buy him some bits and pieces and stuff. And he connected all three together and he was able to get the photos out of the camera to the laptop and send it out to the internet through the phone. And because he did that, because he built something amazing, all of us here today in the world, all the mobile e-commerce, and we shoot pictures, we take videos much like this. We don't even think about where it came from, but it came from someone, Philippe Kahn, because he built something amazing. The next one is inspire those around you. Think of a time when you've really been inspired. At that moment of inspiration, you feel untouchable. You feel as though nothing can ever touch you. You're capable of doing whatever you want. And that's inspiring right there. You know, in that moment, you are truly successful. There are no limitations for you. Can you imagine what it would be like if you inspired everyone around you in that same way? It's pretty powerful stuff, you know. And whenever you can, just inspire someone. Just keep doing what you're doing and inspire people. You know, it has such a flow-on effect, and in turn, you get inspired yourself. And it's a bit like this whole law of karma where, you know, the more good you do, the more good you'll get. Well, it's the same. The more inspiring you do, the more inspired you become. It's a beautiful thing. And last but not least is lead through motivation. I hate it when people tell me something that I've got to do it, and I say why, and they say just cause, or just cause I'm your dad, or just cause I'm your boss. You know, leaders lead through motivation, right? They work out what's important to you and motivate you and inspire you enough to lead you to a better place. Now, some people say, I've had discussions with a lot of people about this, and some people say, hang on a second, I always lead by example. You should lead by example. But the thing about leading by example is that your example might not resonate with someone else's example. Or just as someone else's example of a great leader might not be your great leader example. And if you really want to lead people to be better than what they ever thought possible, you need to learn what fires them up, what drives them, you know, what are their fears, what are their passions, you know, and you need to connect the two and motivate them to lead themselves to a better place. And that's why I say lead through motivation. So those 4 words, dream, build, inspire, lead, have given me so much, you know. And you know a bit of my story of how I became Young Achiever of the Territory and how I built the training center and how, you know, I inspired little Robert to come along, not little anymore, he's pretty big. But, you know, just what happens if you can, you know, someone comes to you with a problem or a challenge rather, and you help them through that challenge. You know, the flow-on effects are enormous, and those 4 words helped me get through the dark times. And so that's the 5th key, guys. That's the 5th key, is dream great dreams, build amazing things, inspire those around you, and lead through motivation. And I hope that serves you well as you roll out through life. Well guys, there you go. That's my 5 keys to life. and it's the stuff that's really helped me turn myself into the anti-young achiever, and I hope that it'll serve you in the same way to help you achieve success in your life. It's been so much fun taking you guys around my town and showing you the places where I hold close to my heart and sort of what inspires and motivates me when things don't go well for me. So I'm AJ Kalatunga, and I'll see you for the next Dream, Build, Inspire, Lead video, and good luck with your dreams. Dream, build, inspire, lead. Peace out.